Hey, what's up guys, this is Abla here. I'm just going to bring you a tutorial today on how to do some Cinema 4D 3D text in a cinematic. And I'll quickly show you an example of what it's going to look like. So I've just added a music and a colour correction and a wiggle to this to sort of give it some extra effect, but this is what basically yours will look like. So as you can see, that's just the preset 3D text, a shadow in Cinema 4D on a cinematic. So firstly what you're going to need is a still shot of a cinematic. So this is the one I'm using for this tutorial. It's just a still shot. I went into a private match, recorded one, and paused it, and then took a still shot of it. In the description below, I'm going to link about 20 pictures from COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3. All little still shots of maps, so that you can have plenty of images if you don't have a PVR. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into Cinema 4D. If you don't have Cinema 4D, I'm sure YouTube can be your friend and helping you out how to get it, but I can't actually tell you. So you're going to want to click it and open it, and you'll come to this window. You're going to want to go to the little section underneath render where it's got the little white movie board. You're going to click it, and this opens your render settings. You're then going to want to click on output, and then once you're on output, you're going to click this drop down menu, then go down to film and video, and then down to HDV, HDTV 720 29.97. Now this is the size of a YouTube video, and also 720p HD. You're then going to want to select save, and then you're going to want to come over here to the file line. You're going to want to click these three dots, and then this chooses where you save it. So I'm going to type in tutorial as where I want it to be saved, and then click save. On my format, I'm also going to change that to PNG, so I get the best quality out of my picture. I'm also going to go down to anti-aliasing, or whatever it is, and then the top line where it says geometry, I'm going to change that to best, and then where it says max level here, I'm going to change that to 2.2. And then you can exit this window, and that's basically just giving you some nice render settings. Then, firstly, you're going to want to come to this little section here with the 4 arrows. Then you're going to want to go and click background. Once you've imported your background, you're going to want to come down to materials down here. You're going to click file, new material. Then a new material will pop up in the section below. You're going to want to double click that material. Then on colour, you're going to want to you want to uncheck specular first. That'll check the shine off your image. You then want to go to colour, and then on texture, click the drop down menu and then click load image. Now this is where you need to find where you've saved your JPEG images or PNG images of your still shot. You then want to click it and then press open. And then when it asks you for a search path, you want to press no. And you've imported now your image into Cinema 4D. You're then going to want to drag your material onto your background, and that gives you the background in Cinema 4D. This is now the hard part of the tutorial. You're going to want to come up here so that where you can move about your scene, and you're going to want to move this grid array that you have, and you're going to want to make it the same plane as the floor. So I'm going to angle it down. I'm going to move it down to about there, angle it a bit more, and drag it that way. So there we go. That's what I think looks like it's angled up. You may not agree. I mean, it's up to you. This part, it's a bit more challenging because I can't give you settings for that. You just have to do that by eye. You're then going to want to come up here to the 4 arrows again. You're going to want to go down and select floor. This will import a floor onto your objects, and you can see it's imported it in the same plane as you've had your plane set. Sorry. You're then going to want to use these arrows to drag it into the right place. You don't want to select this little square here because that means you can move it around wherever you want and that'll make it inaccurate. So you want to undo that. And you're going to want to select, I'm going to select the blue one and I'm going to drag it away from myself. I'm going to put it about here because this is where I want my text to be. Should be over to the left. Okay. So that's my floor. And then if you see, if I pre-render this, it says a black line and I don't want that obviously. So to sort that, you're going to come over here to your objects. You're going to click on your material for your background. You're going to hold down Control and you're going to drag the material over onto the floor, and that will copy the material to your floor. You're then going to want to click on Floor, then click on Tags, then Cinema 4D Tags, and then go down to Compositing. That will add the Compositing tag to your floor. You then want to go down to Attributes, uncheck Self-Shadowing, and check Compositing Background. And now if I pre-render this, you see it's got rid of that black around, which helps a lot. You're then going to want to go to MoGraph, and then you're going to want to press Mo Text, and then that just simply imports your text into the scene. On your attributes for your text, you're then going to want to go onto Object, you're then going to want to press the Align to Middle, you're going to want to make your depth, I would say 50 to 60, I'm going to make mine 50, and then you can change the text to whatever you want, so I'm going to call it Tutorial. So that's my text imported and in Tutorial. I'm also going to change the font, so go to Font, press the back button with Font and dots, and then I'm going to go, I don't know what I'm going to select, I'm going to choose that one, that's quite nice. So that's the text I'm going to be using for today. Obviously you can move it about with your arrows, so I can move it back a bit. And if I pre-render that, you'll see that I've put the text in, but it doesn't look very realistic. The easiest way to make this look realistic is to come to the 4 arrows where you got your lights and stuff, and then you hold it down, click it, and then open a light. This will import a light to your image. You're then going to want to drag this light back until it's in line with your text, so it makes it go black like that. You're then going to want to drag this up to about 1500, I would say, depending on the width of your text, a bit lower if your text is thinner, because it will change the shadow. Well, I'm going to use 1400 is what I'm going to use. So once your light's up there, you're going to come down to your attributes for your light. You're going to change the shadow to Shadow Map Soft. And if I pre-render that, you'll see that it's got a shadow beneath the text. And that instantly makes it look more realistic. The next thing you can do to make your text look more appealing, you can add another light in front of the text, and you can drag it away from the text so it lights up a bit better, and also drag it up so it covers all the visible part of the text. And then if I render that out again, you can see that the text is now light and readable, and the shadow's gone a bit softer, so it looks a bit more realistic. You're then going to want to click on the light that you've just imported to light up your text, and you're going to want to take the intensity down to about 75, and this actually makes the shadow a bit stronger so you can see it a bit better, but it also makes the text not as bright, and that is very important for when you add a material to it. So we've got our text, got our shadow, and now we want to make our text look pretty. So we want to come down again to Materials, click File, click New, and then you've imported another material. You're going to want to double click that. Then on your material editor you want to uncheck Specular, and then on colour I think I'm going to have a blue material, so I'm going to drag the blue up and then drag my red down, and obviously you can make it red or make it green depending on how you want it. As you can see, it's very easy to change, it's just sort of, this is another preference thing, but I'm going to have maybe a bit more of sky blue, so sky blue. And then I'm also going to go down here, there's a reflection option. I'm going to check that, but that reflection is so strong it's made it so the colour's gone away. To bring the colour back, you're going to want to choose the drop down menu for texture, and then you're going to want to go down to Fresnel, and that adds a bit more of it back. But to make it look more realistic, you want to drop the brightness down to, I would say, 15. And on the mix strength here, you're going to want to take that down to 30. And that's made a very nice shiny and shadowy object. Material even. So you're going to want to exit this. And then where you got your material, you're going to want to drag it over to your mode text and drop it on there. And that you can see has changed the text to blue. And if I render that out, you can see that there's a little bit of reflection on the text. It's got a nice blue colour and it looks very nice. So that will give you, now, if you render out, that will give you your PNG file, and then all you have to do is import that to the beginning of wherever you want it to be. So if you want it to be at the beginning of your episode or your montage, write whatever you want on it, and then you just render it out, and then you just literally add it in like a video clip and add a colour correction on top of it, obviously, and that will give you your very nice 3D text. So to render out, you just come up here to the orange button and you simply press it, and I've already done one to test it out, and I'm going to press yes to overwrite, but you won't have to have that, and it will just render like this, and then that has saved your PNG file. So if I open up my Finder or your documents, go to your documents and then press tutorial, which is what I've saved it as, and that's my image. And all I need to simply do is import that into where I want it in my episode or edit, and add what effects I need to add to it. So I hope this has been a helpful tutorial for you guys. If you have any queries, just comment on my channel or message me. And if you have any suggestions for any future videos or tutorials, send me a private message, comment on the video, or comment on my profile, or whatever you want. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.